crossroads. If you've ever wondered the essence of it, here is why.
There's a belief that things have occurred at crossroads before. So just to pacify the gods, so they pave way for you, you need to pour some a bit of libation on the grounds. It's purely traditional.
The procession, once done and over with, officially marked the launch and beginning of the 2023 edition of the Chalewote Festival. It's worthy to note that hip life singer and creative arts enthusiast Miss Bell joined director of the festival Mantse and many others in the procession. Artists set up and displayed various forms of art. Until Sunday, August 27, there will be installations, DJ sets, music performances, photography, workshops, and film labs in various parts of Osu, and finally crowned at the Independence Square with a musical concert, cookout, and a fashion market. Significantly, the festival has been moved from Jamestown to Osu this year, and here is why.
And to me and the organizers, we think it's a move in the right direction.
In what sense?
As far as space, sanitation, and behavior of people of Jamestown is. So we thought it best to move it here. And trust me, trust my words, this is the best place. This is the best place for this program.
Organizers of the popular Chalewote Festival have gone into media partnership with the multimedia group. Nothing less than 5 platforms will give you up-to-date comprehensive media coverage on the Chalewote Festival. Joy Prime leads the pack with TV coverage, while Joy News follows through with up-to-date reports. Joy FM and Hits FM will keep listeners up to speed with proceedings from the various locations in Osu, including the Independence Square, while My Joy Online satisfies the needs of news readers on its all-new interface portal. Mind you, social media handles of all 4 radio and TV stations will feed followers with photos, videos, reels, and more on the corresponding platforms.
All right, so that is a report by my colleague Kofi Eford on the Chalewote Street Art Festival. Meanwhile, director of the Chalewote Street Art Festival, Mantse, has spoken. He says we need to consider taking our history much more seriously since there is no proper method of documentation and record keeping. Speaking on Showbiz A to Z with Kwame Dadzi, he further commented that data has already been documented and are not even considered with much importance, which creates a huge vacuum of lack of reference point with regards to our history. He also mentioned that we need that form of archiving where every history is documented from the genesis so that we won't have to go elsewhere to purchase very own old content for future use. Please listen to how he said it.
We need to take history more importantly. And we need to pay attention to our own history. Because we've had, this renaissance that we're experiencing, post-independence Ghana was like that. 60s into the 70s, even the 80s, even during the revolution, people were still actively, producing art. Cultural engineers were still around, but there is also no memory. There's no institutional memory. It's almost non-existent. So even when things are documented, we don't go back to it. So sometimes you speak to young people and I feel like they say what they know sort of starts from when they become conscious, So there isn't an awareness of the past. The past is like consistently erased, so people have nothing to point to or have no reference point. And sometimes, something happens, they say it was the first time in Ghana. And I'm like, no, this happened like 30 years ago. You can't claim first time. Also, these people, and they are very definite that this is the first time it's happening. So it's like, are you, I don't know, like, you can't just wake up and say things and be so sure that it's never happened in this country before. When there's a long history of that.
Yeah.
But we don't pay attention to that. Do you have the very first broadcast from this station? You have it. You see we need that kind of archiving. Now if you need like video footage or audio from 1960s, 1970s Ghana, you have to talk to the BBC.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's £5,000 a minute. I don't know if it's changed. The last time, 1 minute is £5,000. 1 minute.
1 minute.
Yes. You know, and this is like old price from maybe 10 years ago. We're working on a project, and I remember it's 5,000 because you won't find it here. I know somebody who did a video art piece, a video installation, and he needed a lot of archival footage. If the gallery wasn't paying for it, I don't think they would have been able to raise the money to make it happen. You know, because you're paying like £40,000 alone for video footage. You know, and you don't own it too. They are licensing it for you.
Wow.
Yeah, to use for a particular period, and after that period is done. Yes, you know, but we should have that here.
Ashes, good morning.
Morning, boss.
How are you?
Great.
Good. Adam, morning.
Morning.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Mr. Clark, morning.
Morning.
I like what you're wearing. You soon end up at 4 b.m.
We are both wearing what we are wearing. I mean, it was intentional. You guys didn't get the memo. Hello. Connect next time. Thank you.
Yo, who go drew her? Who go drew her? I go cast lines.
Tomorrow you see me back here and I'm not holding 11. Then you need to.
Oh, there you don't hold 11.
Honey, you man.
Oh, that place is called Garoom. Garoom.
Honey,
I
you
tell you
be
a funny thing, yeah. One of my friend where they drive late nights, but then he drinks something small, where he overtakes some military car,
Kaish.
where the people look sharp, come cross me. No. So yeah, guy be your phone, so all kasa all driving, kasa or FaceTime. And then tell this guy make you stop or don't remind me. Where the people come, where they knock that thing. He thinks it's normal on a koti level.
Okay.
So he remind you, they say, "What's up?" He did on the phone. When the guy do the talk, he say,
Arrogance.
"What's up, officer?" When the guy say, "Hey, who are you on?"
I say, roll down.
You're still talking on the phone. Who are you on? And the shut you say, "Oh, am I?"
Oh, said yeah,
We're changing ground. I say, "Hey, people say go home. I don't come. I'm walking down. But they were nice. They didn't abuse. They rather educated us, gave us some proper education on certain things that I didn't even know. And I mean, they just asked that next time it won't be this good. Maybe it might not be them. It might be a different squad. And
Some are good,
oh yes,
but some of
Yes.
them, even the way they talk to you, you come and you are shouting them. What you? Someone stopped me at some traffic. Like, hey, my friends are bad. Didn't you say? I'm saying, hey, why are you abusing me verbally? I'm leaving, and I drove off because you are abusing me verbally. So why do you want to kill me emotionally? I can sue you.
But there's some very nice officers around.
But you see, for me, imagine these guys at Circle. People, you don't have to force people to be clean or don't dump rubbish here or tractor drivers,
It's an order. You are
like
for
when
no,
you
it's
see
discipline.
the uniform, everything will be rewired in your head to correctness. Then all of a sudden, purity and sanity and holiness will be
But you know what?
It will
I
set
think
in. Straight up.
it's a thing about the Ghanaians. We are stubborn.
And yes, back in the day, there were some punitive measures. Now, we don't find them any longer, and so we've forgotten.
So then now you talk about go to even Benin, Togo. The way they are in order. If you see that they are gendarme and you see that there are people coming, my friend, you go to line.
But
yeah, we're not in fear. It's like
we've seen. Did you see a video of some people who had manhandled some police or soldier like that
Can
in
you
some
imagine?
bush, some land issue? Recently, it was all over social
that's
media.
it. Then do the inside. That's why the police put the coup down.
But for that, you deal or no deal, you go fit.
But-
You go see.
Anyway,
Sounds like
Yeah,
a game
yeah.
show.
Anyway.
And almost hard me. 1,000 come back one day. Okay, let's get to this substantive issue. Much as saying we don't preserve stuff, we don't document stuff. What fascinated me was the £5,000 per minute
Yeah, man.
documentation.
Like we always do, we have to convert.
Yeah.
£5,000 if you want.
For all of you who are asking of the library, hey, Chale, can I get a copy of the library? 5,000 per episode. I'm not giving you per minute. Per episode.
For what you?
Yo, Kroma. You because we are Adam.
Yeah.
Begin.
Annie, I think it's true. Archives are very expensive, like the newspapers. When you do not buy it on the
Sorry,
stand,
71K
71,000 Ghana cedis.
per minute,
if you
71,000.
approximately.
if you don't
131 bit to the top, but
if you don't buy it at the stands and you come to the publishers to buy an archive, that's what we call it. It is more expensive than it is at the stand. So archives are expensive, and the reasons you would want to archive is that you want an explanation, you want some level of justification to be able to make plans for the future. When you archive, especially our history, it helps prevent some losses. A critical example has been, when the Owu Achimota Forest issue came up. There were a lot of stories with someone saying this, someone saying that. And I'm not sure if the family had not kept some documents and had not been critical about preserving that history, that land would have, gone to them. They would have lost it. And that is how archiving helps. It prevents some of the losses. Another critical example is DK poison. In 1976,
Kaish.
when he won a boxing bout in Japan, he was supposed to be paid $75,000. During that time, the Achampong government, because there was an economic crisis, they asked that he gives the country $45,000.
he loans.
Yes. Yeah. So out of the 75, he got only $35,000, and they took that money to buy some certain things to, ease the country's economic crisis. Past government, he did everything possible to get it from past government. It didn't happen. It was somewhere until the 28th September 2020 when President Akufo-Addo through Nana Asante to order the finance minister to pay him that $45,000. It tells you how archiving, keeping document is important. Another thing too is at times you're able to leverage on those archives you have to make money. When you go to Nelson Mandela's house in South Africa, this place, Soweto, you go there, you watch some of the clips and other things. You go into the house, you pay. And even here at the Kwame Nkrumah Memorial, Kwame Nkrumah Memorial
Jamaica,
Park.
in Bob Marley's his residence, his recording studio, all of them are there.
Yeah, Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park. You go there, you watch certain things, some of the old artifacts and other things you use, and you pay for. So it tells us some of this importance, and it helps settles dispute among others. So as a country, we need to make a conscious effort to protect, safeguard data, because it has a huge sort of benefit for us. If you're able to do all of these things, at times it even prevents you from making too much expenses, because you already have a certain data to build on. You don't have to start from the scratch. So that is a good call. We need that national consciousness in ensuring that we safeguard, document, protect our past to be able to know where we are going.
Thank you, Ashes.
Yeah, bro. History, like we have been able to do at most of our castles, if you ask me. I recently took my kids to refresh my own memory again at the Cape Coast Castle, and going through what they have been able to archive and telling you, going with you around and showing you things you need to know of what happened to the slave trade and all those things. These are like rich archives. This is just an example of some of the things that we need to preserve. There's a particular chain in one of the dungeons, which I am told was made in I still have it on my phone, made in the 14 something, a chain that was made in like early 14s, and it's been there till still till now. And that's like a proper archive, you know. We are people who don't take these things serious. We really don't pay attention to these small details. Let's come to our showbiz or entertainment space. We don't even have a national museum for our music. We don't have an archive that would tell somebody, or what you call a hall of fame, that would, you know, somebody walks into here and wants to know what we have done in the past. We don't have any. I mean, Musica should have by now had a particular space whereby these things can easily be monumented and documented there for all of us to see. It should, I mean, we have so much that we have lost just because we're not archiving. We're always complaining that these Nigerians are stealing from us. So what do you think they are doing? They are archiving. Look at Flavor. He digs into most of our music. He digs down deep. Recently, I heard a song from one of his releases, and I tracked it. It goes like way to the 70s. He picked the bass line from there, right? And then he sampled it. Most of us don't even know until you started doing your library. Most of us we didn't know that some of these stuffs were dubbed or what do you call it? Sampled from the West. We don't pay attention to these small details. See, we have so much rich library. Our music library is so rich. The Ghanaian music library is extremely rich that we can sample from, we can dig into it, we can do so much with it. But because, where are you even going to find those vinyls? We don't know. Where are you going to find those tapes? So if you don't have the people like Andy Dostys who were born in the early 70s who have listened to, who've listened to some of these things and know and will play, you know. There was this guy on Peace FM. Is it a Jabrifa or somebody? One of them. He used to play old school. Like proper Ghanaian old school from 4 to somewhere about. There was this guy there. Like he would play you all the old school tune. And there was one to a top radio I used to follow who would also play you all these like old school music. Like I'm saying, we've done a lot. Right now, if we're even looking for OCBS's archive, where are we going to find it? Their trips, their tours, where are we going to find them? You know, bless GBC. Back in the days, they used to show us this. I told you. All these are documents. All these are archives that today's.
They came to report saying Ashe.
Are they in Ashe?
Nyaman materials ni be Ashe.
During there was a burn at.
Yeah, they said there's something in almost everything.
That's what Mantse is saying. You might be surprised that a foreign network somewhere has all these things sitting down.
They will have.
And tomorrow we might need it, and we'll go there. So it's very important that we take these things serious. The next coming, musical president, one of his manifesto plans should be this. One of the things we should task him to do is to prepare a hall of fame or something for our musicians.
Oh my manifesto no.
I'm saying what we should task them. Come on. I mean, these things are basic. We should. We should. The families are still around. Most of these families are still around. Most people have these vinyls in their homes. If we are serious about it, we can put a plea. Chale, we're looking for this vinyl. Anybody can help us for a fee or for a what or for a what. And people would willingly donate, bring them. Like my father has a lot of archives sitting down. These old vinyls. There are plenty of them there. They should be practically serious about it. And we can keep our materials.
Mr. Clark.
Yeah, man. I mean, they've hit the nail right on the head. Just a few things to add. So in the past, we used to have the griots. If you check the history of like West African history, these guys were responsible for oral tradition. I think that even rap is connected to them. What they do is to preserve tradition and culture from the things that they did by, literally committing these things to memory and then putting them in storytelling and music. And that's what they've done in the past. So if we are at this age where we have the ability to be able to write, do videos, and be able to put out stuff even online, I think we need to be able to utilize this. When you go online, you don't really find a lot of information about the things that we have done. it's difficult. So we can't do research by going on the internet and getting actual info about us, and that's bad. We need our writers, the journalists, the Ghanaian writers, authors, to be able to put our stuff in that particular space. Because you see, we are here today. We'll go and check. R&B started in this year, but somebody had to put the info there. You understand? People are sharing their stuff. They're updating the internet with a lot of info, and we don't seem to have enough. We're here. We're struggling. We had issues with somebody telling a hip life story, and they didn't tell it well. And then we're all saying, yeah, but we are not telling our story. So if we are not telling our story, then at the end of the day, what will happen is somebody will end up telling it for us. And for as long as we still don't go to correct them, whatever has been put there will eventually become the information. So I think archiving has to be part and parcel of our lives. It has to be part of our thinking, even from the very onset, knowing clearly that there's a certain amount of value to it, and we need to be able to ensure that at the end of the day we are able to project ourselves in a particular space. My last question I want to end with, in terms of the ministries, who is responsible for this really? Should it be under the creative arts? Because I know that the chiefs or the chieftaincy system is responsible for preservation of culture. So they ought to be responsible for. When it comes to ministry aspect, which ministry should be responsible for the preservation?
So the Ministry of Tourism has a cultural element.
Yes, yes.
So if that is the case, then we need to be hearing stuff about it. I think we need to be so woke politically.
Archives.
We need to be so woke politically that we ask certain questions. And when it's not there, we should find out, because somebody has to be responsible. And the question is, who is responsible? And they ought to be able to give us information. You understand? Because if we think that there is that deficiency exists, we need to be able to point it out. So that at the end of the day, if somebody drops a manifesto and it's not in their car, you can say that, Charlie, there's a question mark somewhere. You can ask questions about specific areas that we think should be there but are not captured, so to say. So for me, I think that we need to be able to, challenge the status quo and ask the institutions and systems to be able to do more.
Where are we going to find them to ask? Every day we talk this thing. We need to ask.
Isn't this a radio station? The radio station. The radio station. This station we did here. It get power off.
Oh
no, there's nothing like the reminders. No, you can put no.
The reminders. That's the truth.
No, the fourth estate is a requirement. We are accountable. Like we are supposed to hold them accountable.
They need to mind us.
National Archive.
Then
let's find the people. Mention their name. Make them find the thing.
Question is, unless you are saying they don't mind people who are just commenting.
But if you mention their name,
that's not enough.
And then they respond.
So if it's
they mind you know
that Ministry of Culture or something, we need to be
good
specific
so
on those people.
Look, if this station,
Andy, is it today that we started talking about these things? We say them every year and they were blind on us.
No, saying it is not equal to calling them and saying that you want to have a conversation on X or Y. If the station says we've been trying to reach the ministry of whatever 2 days and they don't respond, you go see the fire will come under them. They will respond.
And that's what I'm saying.
So we need to
fire the people.
So let's translate that into action. Because sometimes we just talk and we also don't put. I think that we need to be able to do that. Entertainment journalist, this is an entertainment journalist. He could go there.
I'm telling you, we have a national archive.
Okay, and it's responsible for archiving what?
In our space.
National.
Yeah, national. But don't ask me if you don't know. I'm asking you.
So if you go there, when you go there, what is archived?
When you go there, of the
yes. Not saying maybe. He was saying.
So let's go. This is not maybe. This is factual. That okay, I've gone there. I've noticed they have Chalewote.
Can you call music and find out if they have an archive of our music or something for us?
Why we for call music?
No, they for call them. I was the one saying we should mention. Yeah, so they for call music and they tell us.
Go there.
Why I for go there?
Why you not go there?
Why you not for
us? Is big.
And when we speak,
it goes to the next level.
So
then they for call music and they can tell us. Do they have an archive of our music or do they have a library or something?
Where them out? You know their office.
Andy, please allow.
No, they ask us. Do you know their office?
It not be the one that one break up.
Look,
as someone don't cry again.
2 days ago.
Does that mean they shouldn't do it?
No. I mean, what I'm saying is, who is responsible for that in that office?
It is way up to speed. Like now, we should have that thing. No, so we know they see Nollywood, they do Walk of Fame, Hall of Fame, waiting, put stars on street. What is wrong? Why?
When it
can't we
comes
not
to
just do
music,
something?
even this can
Why?
be.
Adam didn't answer the question. He said National Archive.
I understand. He just needs to say he doesn't know, and then he will check it out. That's all.
Maybe
That's all.
Oh, you know,
No, if he doesn't know, there's nothing wrong with that.
Do you know?
You can't know everything. I mean, that's
Try
fine.
Google.
You know, Abi, there's an act which set them up, and
So that's
definitely
fine.
the act
Look,
states
let
what they have to do.
Let me tell you another thing I discovered.
But what I want to
one thing,
it's
quick,
mostly
one
about public
second.
institutions,
Check
yeah.
this out. So I was reading something, and eventually I chanced upon the fact that Nkrumah had a national development planning commission, and they were responsible for putting in place the 7-year plan that he worked with. Now, I later on discovered that there's an act in the constitution and all of that basically has empowered. So there's a National Development Planning Commission now, today. But we've always been talking about why don't we have a national, like a plan that is independent of political parties. So at the end of the day, every party that comes in power just takes that particular paper and runs with it. But there is a National Development Planning Commission there, like in existence. So the question is, if we've been asking for this, then what is happening? So that's another area that for me is
it functional?
There are people there. It's functional. So I was surprised. I'm like, wow. Because we've been calling for a national development plan, one solid white
NDPC
paper.
has been there.
Yeah, but my point is,
What has been there?
They
No, he said who has been
NDPC.
that's the National Development Planning
Planning
Commission.
They
Commission,
got a 20-year development. I mean, like a development plan. And Chale.
And what?
And Chale what?
Paperwork.
No, it has to be paperwork.
Parties come with different manifesto, different plans.
Good.
And
So
the plan is not
because
working.
you know what, we are going to be querying manifestos
So
again next year.
when the NDPC
And we have to be able to ask some salient questions.
The
NDPC.
National Planning Development
So,
National Development
NDPC.
Planning Commission.
Under which government did you see it functioning properly? Per your
So that's a deep question.
Yes.
Functioning properly.
functioning properly when? Which government?
None.
Oh, what I'm saying is they
No, me see.
But at the end of the day, what they come out with, we do not see the results because all of these parties.
Then it means
But
they are
that's
not
the question
functioning
is
properly.
all of
Yes.
this. So that's the answer I'm giving. All of these parties come with different manifestos. They are looking at different areas. So the interest, the willingness to enhance or empower whatever they are doing. Some time ago, you saw some stadium.
Okay, so
I'm coming.
So what's your point on that? The fact
My
that
point on
something
that is that
rivaling
we are
what
we
they
are
are doing.
we are in a way trying to make it a national a white elephant, because some time ago you even saw a stadium flying. That is a NDPC have come up with. I mean, a plan to build some Black Star Stadium. There is a name for that stadium. None of the parties have it in their manifestos. I mean, so they just come out with the things. Nothing happened. We won't commit no more.
Okay.
Then
So for me, I'll just leave it with one solid question here. Manifesto versus the product of the National Development Planning Commission. Which one are we supposed to actually use?
Should we use the
both?
NDPC?
Should we use
It
one?
should be a
Should
blend.
one be?
Because
Should one take precedence over the other? I think we need to be able to go.
Because since
Let's go check it out. I don't want to.
It is done in the interest of the nation. So, especially when you, the politicians, are appointing the people, then if you do not trust the work, who appointed those people? So you need to appoint people who you think can do a good job. When they do the good job, apply it.
No, so my point here is not whether they've done a good job or not. We can't tell whether it's about a matter of good job. Maybe the manifesto they are implementing is not supported by constitution. We don't know. But all I'm saying is that the manifestos that they are implementing is not necessarily supported by. I don't know. But all I'm saying is that we need to be able to investigate it, because very soon we'll be on this platform discussing manifestos that are coming through.
My brother, Kuda.
You understand?
Everything they said they would do
I just
for
charge
us.
again.
Everything they said they would
If
do.
you be quiet, how they charge?
You're talking about manifestos. What in that manifesto have they been able to do in this art department?
Okay,
manifesto
so let me.
One thing.
Good.
No, I'm daring them.
Amphitheater.
Where they? That wooden thing they go do for
Which
commercial,
one be wooden
we will
thing?
say
If you
anything.
have it theater, they build
Mama,
them.
I'm challenging them to come out and tell us what promise they have. See,
Ashes won't talk to them. I promise them. They not
do it.
And they carry
and they don't want to see anybody
Nah,
from our
NDPC.
space going to do their creative art for change. Next, come stand my face, talk anything. You go here. That creative art for change, where is it?
He said,
What have they done?
So you go see that you go here.
Yeah,
All the
yeah.
two see it.
No.
That's a new word registered, documented.
Sometimes it gets annoying. Yesterday I was talking to
Archived.
You know, yesterday I called Otin because I know it was part of the Creative Arts for Change thing. I
Really?
called Otin. So this Creative Arts for Change you people formed some years back. Waiting they happen. You people tell us. Because you see, that is from your government quarters. You guys formed it. We had so much hope and believe in you people that you are going to change our space. But what has really happened? You promised us theatres, none. You promised us amphitheatres, none.
Okay.
Our minister was on record actually saying that we should put him on record that this thing will be done at a certain date. That's a serious thing.
No, creative arts for change, you know.
That's a serious thing Mr. Minister said. And till date,
what has the manifesto got to do with them?
it's got to do with everything. They actually informed the people to put that manifesto together. The creative, you are part. You are part, and you are part. They even made you an ambassador when they came. You are part. You should. Mama, you did part. You did part of the team.
No, don't say stuff.
That part of the creative art. Oh, you didn't. If you are not part, tell me. Come here,
I'm
Straight.
not.
That's what I'm trying to tell him, and
I have no idea, honestly.
You did.
Okay, it was no.
Hold on. You're not part of the creative art.
No. The creative arts for change had nothing to do with what you're saying.
No, hold on.
No, this is radio. Don't misinform me.
Oh, at the camp, were you part?
I wasn't.
And you said that
It wasn't part.
It wasn't part.
The ambassadorial thing did not come. No, please.
Which one are you talking about? Is it the ambassadorial or the manifesto?
No. All the manifesto.
Are you trying to tell me that people from our space?
No. That's different. No. You're saying one, I am part. I am not part. Two, you said they made me an ambassador.
But you're an ambassador.
But what does that got to do with creative arts for change?
So okay, fine. If you say you are not part of it, fine.
Yeah, so don't misinform people.
But did they make you an ambassador?
Which people made me the
MPP
ambassador?
made you an ambassador.
It wasn't the MPP.
But which was what?
Why are you misinforming people?
So tell us, I know you the city here. Myself.
It was a minister that set up something to promote Ghana. What does that got to do with MPP?
Andy, but you are okay. Sorry, if I'm labeling you an MPP, I am sorry. Waiting.
If I don't label me as MPP, why do you label me as MPP?
Hey, Oga.
Me are there here.
That thing go wrong, everybody flee.
Let me say that thing go wrong. If you go wrong,
that thing go wrong, everybody flee.
You can't go hit a friend bend and like you will come here. Like you will come with helmet.
Different story.
Hey, this is
I said the matter go wrong,
story.
everybody flee.
So what?
Seriously.
I beg. So what?
We want to see a change in our space. So many things. It's going wrong, and we are not seeing it. This matter, I know they go call me. I know they go call me, jump on me, but sometimes we need to say it as it is. All the promises they made to our space, none. So I'm telling the Creative Arts for Change people, it's coming next year. We don't want to hear you people come and tell us anything when you haven't done what you actually said you are going to do.
Okay, so back to what I was saying. The national
NDPC.
No, I want to forget.
What is with you and
NDPC? At the Confirm Plus
Committee.
NDC. Okay, so NDPC or PNDC. Okay, whatever.
But it was done in the PNDC.
Yeah, but subsequent governments have worked with it. So that's fine. All I'm trying to say is that.
And the question is, were they functional?
Yeah,
when subsequent governments worked.
Well, you see, again, that's a question. I wish we would have an opportunity to speak to them just to understand what they do. Because you see, if they've been planning for things national-wise, what have they really ever planned for the creative arts? Would like to know, right? Yeah, there should be some white paper somewhere, some recommendations that they have given off about how the creative arts should be developed. Would like to know that as well. I mean, so those are some of the questions I have in my mind. Chale, we need to be able to action it, if possible, before the manifestos come out, because they will come out.
Here on It's 103.9 FM, I'm about to read some of your comments. Get ready for an unforgettable experience at the Calabash Cala Festival, happening at the Untamed Empire on Saturday, September 9th, 2023, starting at 12 noon. Prepare to groove to electrifying performances by top-notch artists like Mr. Drew, Kwamina MP, Sefa, Dope Nation, Banzi Banero, and many more. Tomorrow, Kwamina MP will join us in the studio and we'll discuss this. You can get tickets at Frankie's, Oxford Street, at Osupoki House Airport, front back Nyaniba Estate, Nalem Clothing Accra Mall, or dial star 711 star 11 star 44 hash.
You see, evidence no dey lie.
Which one?
Evidence, you know they lie. Who they here?
What does that got to do?
I'm
with-
asking.
Man, this guy that gave you things.
I am
Look at his
asking
head.
who they here.
Look at his head.
No, bro, don't swerve that thing. Who
I
they
know.
here?
No.
It be
some
just answer.
bunch of nice guys.
Yeah, who they there? You did there?
No.
You were part of the Creative Arts for Change.
This
You
is
were
not
actually
Creative Arts
campaigning.
for Change.
You were holding
Oh my
wrong
God.
too. You
Chale,
were
what
holding
wrong
wrong
you?
I don't know the wrong is saying. If the thing go wrong, let's say it. You were part of it.
Ashes.
I'm
Are you
not
okay?
here try- Yes, very, very okay.
You are not.
I am. I
No.
saw you here. I just see you here.
This one no be Creative Arts for
Why be
Change.
what? I go see.
It be some coalition.
Coalition. Okay, make it tell you the name. Now he's saying
I
coalition.
give
It's a coalition.
Maybe
And
you
that's
fit
why
tell-
we did where we did. Because everybody has an excuse for it in this country. When
Don't
it
you have
goes-
an excuse for being here?
Oh, yes, I have an excuse.
Why have you been absent?
Because I did Sudan. Yesterday, my mommy say, you try, talk out again. You cheated, bro.
The Sudan thing, yeah.
So that be true.
Yeah, be true. Yes. As you step out, go date this guy in body. See this guy.
You see, evidence there, and you just, you go
No, what's the
express.
evidence? No, but there's no.
No, hold on.
What is this?
This guy did that.
Creative Arts for Change. That is
No,
them.
be Creative
Where's
Arts
the
for
written?
Change. Oh, stop it,
Where's
stop
the
it.
written?
Can't you see what you are saying there?
Oh.
Can't you see who is this one? Andy Dusty, I see.
Nana
He did right,
Kwesi
I
says
see.
the national
But read
development.
message. Let's tire you.
You know where she did. Right now, he dey wear Rolex watch. They don't buy Rolex watch for him. He laptop, he change the laptop. They don't buy laptop for him.
Split tire.
The national development plan
I think
exists.
Rasu put it
People
through.
are paid you salaries to occupy that space. Hey, your mic is off. Hey. It is one of the useless entities just like rent control. What are they paid to do? That's another financial loss to the state recorded. Nana Kwesi is speaking. You go can talk for here. You know where he dey? Did they change it to they change office? He dey chop money with Agla. Betway is bringing you a lot of money. Please, if you are not yet 18, don't bet. They're giving you 100% back as a free bet up to 50 cedis if you lose. Regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Betway is for the love of the game. Pedro Maldina Cruz says it's live inside Indianapolis. Kumasi Thanos Kesman. This thing still they go on. This Kumasi.
Indianapolis.
Awari Famu says the gatekeepers got to up their game. Plenty talk, not the full basket. Bertrand Ni Ajay Kraku says, aka Papa J, hi Andy, your man is referring to Nat Sankofa Theater of Peace FM. Seems Ashes the guy.
Yes.
He says in Ghana, if you don't sing in Chi and English, you go tired to be awarded or to be recognized in the industry. They don't admit their truth. Radio presenters defending failed government. How do you expect your industry to progress?
Okay, so there's information about Musica actually starting something with respect to gathering and archiving all Ghanaian music with support from Denmark. And there's actually some record, and it started from Dana Hobson's time and continued through to Obo's time.
Yes, which is good.
So they said that there's, but obviously from Obo's time we've not really had a musical functioning in full capacity.
The person said from Obo's time. So actually, it was implemented and should have been in full flight by now.
Yes, it's supposed
But
to
it's
be.
working, is it?
Where is it?
So they're saying that there's some record. There's record. So there
It's
is
not
there.
about the record. Where's the thing physically for us to see?
Where they
Oh, no,
can,
but
they
the
can even
archiving,
leverage
once
on.
you've archived it,
They
it
can even
becomes
leverage
easier
on
for
it.
you to use the data for anything.
They can
you
even
use.
leverage on it's archival where they can leverage on to make money. I mean, it can be of public records. People go there, listen.
No, I'm not talking
or
about
watch.
what it can be done with. I'm just trying to state
So-
to speak to what he
I'm
wanted.
saying it can be extended further.
No, I'm not saying it cannot. All I'm saying is I just want to leave it at that point. As for what it can be done with the million, I just want to answer his question.
So they have archive and what are they doing with it?
So that's a different
It was
question.
sponsored by the Danish government.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know this. Albert Amate is even part of the people who actually started it. Yeah. But then as to whether it's been implemented, be something for Probe to find.
Yeah, I mean that's fine.
I know some
so
other
this,
things.
this is somebody
I
who's
know some other things. You say talk to I say I know some other things.
yeah, if I know.
What is that?
You are Noah.
When I text you be part of that, you know my me, make I can't tell you my own.
You are Noah. You are Noah.
So to all the knowers, who know
And bring pictures.
Who know round
and
two?
bring pictures, evidence. Once I hear evidence, no the lie. I should have switched the
You
microphone.
go explain tire.
Yes, you go explain tire.
But I actually gave there is no explain time.
Oh, round.
What are we did? Round 2-2.
Adam, see you tomorrow. Make it you and Hagla tomorrow. Wait till the show is over. You come and present music box. You people, we are done here. Thank you very much for listening.
Andy, please, I want to say
Me, you want to say what?
some military man who is listening.
I beg. This one allow
he
him.
said,
Even if it's 30 seconds.
Military man.
yeah,
Sergeant.
Sergeant, Staff Sergeant Danso Francis.
Oh, I
He
know.
said,
That's what's my very good friend.
Great. He says happy birthday to his mother, Elizabeth Mensah. She turns 74 today, and she's at Cape Coast, Pedu Junction. So, happy birthday to his mother, Sergeant Sam Danso. Mommy.
Thank you. You just saved somebody from a slap.
Thank you very much for coming, Adam. Thank you, Ashes. Tomorrow we'll go to the we'll go to the GRA.
Yeah.
Yesterday something came up.
So that would have VG.
When you make confused, the split tire is so wrong.
Hey, Ashes.
Sorry, sir. Upset, sir.
Thank you. You go meet them for the outside and you go come out your shirt. Yeah, we'll go to the GRA.
Like Ashes be a journalist, who could be powerful. Oh.
Since
See how you
March,
carry the guy.
yeah. Since
I
March,
put it to you.
yeah.
Lawyer.
Excuse me. Since March, there's been taxation on
Streaming
and it seems Ghanaians have been quiet,
on the low.
and people are streaming quietly, and Ghanaians are complaining. We don't stream. Look, top 10, and it's only Nigerian songs. It's only Nigerian songs. Foreign material. What is happening to ours? Have these taxations affected our streams? I want to hear from you tomorrow.
Yeah, those who are
I'll get you involved. I want you to come and share your experience. If they have affected you, these taxes, some way, somehow, have you stopped streaming, or do you now stream in
bits.
in pieces?
Yeah.
Like, Chale, I listen 1 minute, it's fine. Yeah. I don't want to make that thing tear me too much. Your data, stuff, all of these. Let's get deeper tomorrow. I beg you initiated this conversation. So tomorrow, please try and come earlier. Adam, I beg you. Mr. Kla, and thank you all very much for coming. Listeners, this way we end the conversation. Mr. Agla is up next with Music Box. Have a wonderful day. Now I'm playing this song from Kwabna featuring Adina from the Famisa album. My favorite on the album, Awero featuring Adina. Have a lovely day. Bye for now.